Alexis, please start. Thank you. Please write any questions or concerns you may have in the chat so we can be sure to capture your input. For Reed is monitoring the chat box, and we hope to address these throughout the presentation or respond to you directly once we have the answers. And thank you again for attending the State of California 2025 Citizen Participation Plan Substantial Amendment public hearing. Next slide, please. So we'll do some housekeeping. As stated previously, this meeting is being recorded and will be available on our website. The recording, along with the slides, will be available just in a few days on our website. Comments during the public comment period are saved as public record. All participant lines have automatically been set to mute and cameras off. For any comments, please use the raise hand feature located at the bottom of your screen. There is also a Q&A button found in the three dots where it says more at the bottom of your screen. So please use that for any questions you may have regarding this amendment. Feel free to use the chat box to leave comments there as well. And lastly, if you would like the closed captioning on, you can click on the icon at the bottom of your screen that says show captions. Next slide, please. Today's presenters are Dawn Magnuson and myself, Luke Gladstein, with slides being facilitated by Alexis Navarro. Next slide, please. Okay, so the agenda today, we'll start with an introduction and background that will tell you a little more about what the Citizen Participation Plan is. Then we'll look at the purpose of this amendment. Then we'll review examples of a couple of changes that are being made. And finally, we will close with comments and questions that will be addressed live in the meeting. So next, we'll turn it over to Dawn, who will introduce you to the Citizen Participation Plan.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is for the Citizen Participation Plan Amendment, and we will talk about what a substantial amendment is. If the department needs to make big changes to the consolidated plan, annual action plan, citizen participation plan, or other plans, we must make an amendment. To add or remove a goal that determines how money is distributed, to change how money is awarded if it's not already explained in the comp plan, to change how we make information and opportunities for the public comment available. And next slide, please. All right, the background. What is this Citizen Participation Plan? It's a guide for public involvement in the planning and execution of federally funded programs. The purpose is to ensure all community members, especially those from low and moderate income households, can be a part of the shaping of housing and community development projects. The applicable programs in today's amendments include Community Development Block Grant, Home Investment Partnerships Program, Emergency Solutions Grant, National Housing Trust Fund, and Housing Opportunities for Persons with AIDS, which is administered by the Department of Public Health. All right, next slide. Now we'll talk about what is being changed in this Citizen Participation Plan. Changes are being made to update public notice language to align the CPP requirements with the federal regulations, to eliminate the need for newspaper publications for the Consolidated Plan, Annual Action Plan, and the Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, and to specify that notices will be posted on the Department of Housing and Community Development's website and will be emailed to registered community members. And we'll continue on the next slide, please. And to clarify public hearing language to allow HCD to have in-person or virtual options. To remove the analysis of impediments to fair housing requirements section. Changes will closely align with the Title 24 CFR Part 91 requirements mandated by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. These changes will bring better accessibility and reduce costs when obtaining public feedback on posted plans, reports, or amendments. These changes will streamline public engagement while ensuring compliance with the HUD requirements. And next, please, we will give you an example of these changes. Let me give you two examples of some of the changes in the CPP. Previously, it read public hearings may be held in person and or virtually. And to clarify, HCD has changed this to public hearings are designed to facilitate public engagement and provide opportunities for residents, including low and moderate income persons and those with special needs, to provide input on the proposed use of HUD funds, HUD. When conducted virtually, the department will ensure the hearing platform complies with accessibility standards. This change brings clarity to the vague comment of may be held. Next slide, please. Another example. Previously, this read, the department will publish a notice of a public comment period and summary of the proposed draft CAPER in at least one newspaper of general circulation and will distribute this summary to interested parties via electronic mailing. And to update, HCD has changed this to the department will post a notice of public comment period and summary of the proposed draft CAPER on the department's website and will distribute this summary to interested parties via electronic mailing. This change will bring HCD current with methods of reaching the public. All right, next slide, please. Alexis will talk about where to find the CPP and the public comment period.
Thanks so much, Dawn. So the updates to the amendment can be found on our website on the Federal Plans and Reports page by clicking the Citizen Participation Plan box as shown in the red writing there. The public comment period runs from November 6, 2025 to December 6, 2025. It runs for 30 days. Submitting a comment or question about the CPP is easy. Today in the public hearing, we can take comments and questions, but we also have made available other ways for your voice to be heard. You can use this public hearing, standard mail, email, or phone, and let us know any comments or questions you may have. This information is also within the CPP and also available on our website. Someone from the federal reporting team is going to insert a link in the chat box. And if you have any accessibility or accommodations, you can email that federal reporting at hcd.ca.gov for help with any accessibility issues. Thank you all for joining us today and your attendance in this public hearing. On behalf of the entire team, we appreciate everyone's feedback and attentiveness to what we're doing here at the Division of Federal Financial Assistance. We are going to now move into our question and comment period of this public hearing. If you don't wish to remain in the meeting, it's okay to leave at this time. We're going to provide an opportunity for general questions after comments and questions are heard regarding this particular amendment. If you'd prefer to not have your question or comment recorded for this public hearing and on this public record, please wait until the recording is stopped, which will be later in the presentation, to submit any feedback that you may have. I'm going to pass the presentation over to Dawn while we wait for questions, comments, and feedback.
Thank you. All right, as a reminder, we will leave the different ways to contact HCD up on the screen while we answer questions or take comments. And we'll now offer an opportunity for anyone to provide public comment or question on the Citizen Participation Plan amendment that will be documented on our website. Please leave your question or comment in the Q&A box and someone will read it out loud, or raise your hand and we will address you in the order received. Please remember that the submissions in the Q&A box will be included in the document. And we will leave 2 minutes for questions and comments. So go ahead and ask or add your question or comment to the Q&A box.
Dawn, this is Felicity. I'm only seeing a chat box. I'm not seeing a Q&A box. So is it the chat box that we're referring to?
I think someone said to put it, is it in more?
Yeah.
Oh
yes, there is a
more,
okay,
and then there's Q&A. Yeah.
You have to hit the more dots and then Q&A box pops up. But I do see folks putting questions into the chat box, so let's make sure we respond to those.
Looks like we have a question from Kristen Marnique. Will this flow down to the public participation requirements expected of grantees?
So I can answer that question. Hi, everyone. I'm Felicity Gosser. I am the Community Development Branch Chief. And Kristen, I assume that your question is related to the requirements that are passed through to local governments for CDBG grantees, for CDBG awards. And those public participation requirements are part of the Citizen Participation Plan. But they have not changed since the last publication of the Citizen Participation Plan. They are found on page 14 of the current draft that's out for public comment. I'm not sure if that's already gone in. I think that's already gone into the chat. So there are a separate set of citizen participation requirements for local governments, and we do our best to have those align with the requirements for the state. We already did remove that requirement for local newspaper publishing a few years ago for local governments receiving CDBG funds. I hope that answers your question. If not, feel free to come off mute and we can discuss it some more.
It looks like there's another question from Louise. She's asking, how do we make sure we receive notices in the future?
Louise, this is Samantha from HCD. I'm the manager one for the HUD reporting, and I just put the link to make sure that you're a part of the email list to receive all of our mailings and notices. Sorry.
There's another question from Tanya. She says, I would like HCD to create consequences for cities that are not or won't get compliant with the state housing element.
Hi, Tanya. Thank you for your comment. This is Felicity again. And that is having compliant housing elements is something that is very important to the Department of Housing and Community Development. And we actually have an accountability unit within our Division of Housing Policy and Policy Development. I will see if there is a link that I can share to that part of our website to provide you with some additional information. And that is one of the divisions of our department that we have built up over the last 5 years. And we do a fairly robust job of reviewing housing elements for compliance and rewarding jurisdictions that have pro housing policies. And we also have done some work within that division on ensuring compliance of those jurisdictions who have not. And as our CDBG grantees well know, and as other grantees know, that if you do not have a housing element, then you are not entitled to receiving most HCD funding if you are a local jurisdiction. So those are some of the carrots and sticks that we have around housing element. Happy to talk about that more if you would like to come off mute. It looks like Luke has posted the information about our accountability and enforcement unit here at HCD if you'd like some more information about that.
And how long do they have to become compliant?
I'm sorry, Tanya, I was talking, but I was on mute. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming off mute to have a conversation. I am not an expert in housing elements, and the folks on this call are not. We work within the Division of Federal Financial Assistance, so we rely on our partners in the Housing Policy Division for that information. But it is an answer I can get. So if you want to put your email in the chat, we can follow up with you and get an answer on that,
Thank
about
you.
that timeline. Some of that information might be on the website that Luke just linked to, the
Okay,
accountability
I'll check it.
enforcement site.
I'll check it. Thank you.
Sure, thanks.
We are going to leave the recorded question portion of our presentation open for another minute. And then if there are no more questions, we will stop recording and give you an opportunity to have a question or comment answered without the recording going.
And Tanya, I just wanted to point out that it looks like Luke also posted the specific email address for our Housing Elements team into the chat if you wanted to direct your question there. You can also put Tanya, if you would like to put your email address into the chat, we're happy to make that connection for you as well.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording and give anyone an opportunity to make a comment or question without the recording going.